Okay, hey everybody, welcome to our team chat. Today is June 27th. We're almost at the end of the month, and I just have a quick few things to talk about before we get to the meat of our call. But today, hold on, give me 1 second, actually. Okay, so I have a couple of reminders. Right now, starting, I think it's today was the first day, is an Emerald group with Team Fit Addicted and Meg Wazinski, and the group is going there a week. I don't know how to explain this, but it's the whole month of July, but each week is going to be its own Emerald group. So if you get added to this group, and you don't hit Emerald in the first week, you can roll over to the following week. And each week is going to be led by different coaches. So you're going to get a lot of, I think it's going to be really awesome because you're going to get a lot of the same concepts, but presented in different ways, which I always love because I just feel like sometimes things click better when you hear it from a certain person than it does when you hear it from someone else. So I highly, highly, highly recommend that everybody get in that group. Even if you're already Emerald, you're going to learn a lot. And just remember, always remember that the key to all of the ranks is Emerald, right? Like Emerald unlocks the door to every single rank. So when you become a master of Emerald, you will naturally reach the following ranks. And when you teach your team to become masters of Emerald, your team will just explode. So again, I highly recommend that everybody get into those groups and really pay attention. You're going to be getting training from top coaches like in the entire Team Beachbody network, right? Like last year or the year before, Meg Wazinski was in the top 10. So you're getting training from people who really know what they're talking about. And if they say to do something, do it, implement it, because that's how you're going to grow. And don't it's easy to try to overthink things or try to reinvent the wheel, but that's so not necessary with this business. Like there's some very simple ways to grow, and it's just repeating them consistently and implementing. So, and we're going to talk about a couple of those things tonight, but one more reminder is that we have an incentive going this week, okay? So you have 3 more days left in this week. For every person who hits Success Club 5, you're going to get 1 entry into my giveaway sweepstakes for the Stronger Than You Think sweatshirt, which is super duper cool. I love it. I can't wait to get my own. So Success Club 5 gets 1 entry. Success Club 10 gets an additional entry into the sweepstakes drawing, which I will be doing in the first week of July once the stats come out. And I'm really excited about that. I know when I posted it, we got a lot of positive feedback. I think everybody loved the sweatshirt. So I'm excited to see how many people hit Success Club. Let's do this. And I mean, this goes without saying, right? That the real win when you hit Success Club is the growth in your business, not a sweatshirt. But it's always nice to get, Team Beachbody gives out prizes for hitting Success Club, and I like to do it once in a while as well. So that's it for the reminders. So tonight I've been just thinking the last few days I've been watching a lot of Tony Robbins and listening to a lot of Zig Ziglar. And I know I already mentioned both of them in the live videos that I did this week on Success Club. I think was that yesterday? But or Saturday, but I love both of them as far as personal development goes. So if you really need someone to click with or connect with for your personal development, I highly recommend both of those. And they're both for free because Zig Ziglar has a podcast, and then Tony Robbins is all over YouTube. So I don't pay for anything. I just listen to it. I listen to Tony Robbins on YouTube. And if I'm searching for something, like say I have an issue that I need to address within myself, like for instance, say I'm struggling with believing in myself, for instance, I can go onto YouTube and I can search, believe in yourself, Tony Robbins, and a gazillion videos will come up. So I just highly recommend utilizing those free resources for your personal development. So what I've been thinking about the last couple of days is two I guess I was just like, where it started is I was thinking like, how could I break down coaching, right, as far as building your business into just 1-2 steps, or key points that are really, really vital to your business. And I know Beachbody, we have vital behaviors. Everybody knows what those are. But I think I've identified 2 things that I feel are super integral. And if you can master these, you'll become an amazing business person. And really that success spills over into all areas of our life, right? Because when we are working on ourselves in one area, it just like discipline, right? Discipline spills over into all areas. So the first one I wanted to talk about is growing yourself. And I know I already hit on this with Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar, but growing yourself personally, I cannot emphasize how important that is. And when I look back over my coaching career, there are so many points that I can see and identify. You know, hindsight's 20/20, right? So looking back, there are so many points that I can look back at my business and go, man, like personal development is what got me through this. Or if I had been doing personal development when I encountered this, I would have done so much better. But personal development has become a part of my life that I can't go without. I crave it. And I notice if I go for a couple days without it, I'm sitting around and I'm like, well, what am I going to post on my page? Or what am I going to talk about in my challenge group? Or what am I going to share with somebody when I'm talking to them? And I feel empty. And it's because, you know, you see that meme floating around, you can't pour from an empty cup. It's so true. So personal growth and working on growing yourself internally through personal development is that key to filling yourself, filling your heart, working on you, which makes you feel valuable to yourself, which is so important, but also filling your mind with positive thoughts. And positive thoughts, they promote growth, right, within ourselves. So if you're kind of like feeling like, well, what do I post on my page? I'm just stuck. I feel like I don't have anything to talk about. I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're probably not doing your personal development. If you feel like you're in a rut or you're in a funk or you're in a slump, again, I'm going to say do personal development because it's going to help so much. There's just like, it's like, have you seen the experiments where people are in like a cave and it's pitch black, like you can't see your hand in front of your nose, right? And then someone strikes a match. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but it's super cool. Like when you're in a cave and you strike a match, you can see the darkness running away from the light, because where there is light, there can't be any darkness, right? And that's kind of how I feel with personal development. When you have that positive inflow into your mind and into your being and your psyche and your soul, and you're feeding yourself with positive things, the negative things, there's no room for them. There is no room. So I know, like in the times of my life when I dealt with depression, really deep depression, personal development was so key. I remember one day just sitting, like, I was driving home in the car, sitting in my seat in the car, crying, and just like, I realized on my way home, I need my personal development. I listened to 2 hours that day before it finally, I was able to get above it. But I'm just telling you guys, like, that is the key to so many things. It's going to unlock so many things, because so many times, like we talked about last week, we're the ones that stand in our way. I stand in my own way more than anybody else stands in my way. And when I do my personal development and I'm growing, it helps me get out of my way. So that was number one, is really growing yourself and working on yourself. Number two, and this one, nobody's going to like me. Nobody's going to like me, because this is something that you know in your heart is super important, but we don't want to do it. And that is talk to more people. If you're working on yourself and you're growing within yourself, and you add talking to more people on top of that, you're going to grow your business. It's just going to happen. But a lot of times we like put so many other, small tasks or petty tasks or things that don't really matter ahead of talking to people, because we have that hesitancy or the fear of rejection or whatever that is holding us back from actually reaching out and talking to people. But as you know, you're never going to grow your team unless you approach people and you invite them, right? And you're never going to have good success with your invites if you're not getting to know them. So it's work. In one word, it's work. It takes work. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes getting out of your comfort zone and reaching out to more people. If your business has not been growing as fast as you would like it to be, talk to more people, right? That's the key. And I know it's super simple, but it's one of those that you just can't, you're never going to be successful as a coach unless you're reaching out. So how do we overcome that fear of reaching out? And I shared this in that video I did on Saturday about Success Club. So if you didn't get to watch that, I highly recommend go back and watch it. But Zig Ziglar was talking about on one of the podcasts I listened to how to overcome fear of rejection and how to get past that. And what he really focused on salespeople. That was his business. He started out as a door-to-door salesman, like selling vacuum cleaners, right? And he rose to the top of the business and took his business global. And then he became the personal development, business development person that we know him as. But he started out as a salesperson. But he said, if you want to overcome your fear of rejection, this is how you do it. You sit down, you make a list of 100 people, and you call them as fast as you can. You pound those 100 people out, because guess what? You're going to get a lot of no's. And when you get through that list of 100 people and you've heard no, 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 and all the objections and all the other things you're going to hear when you reach out to that many people in a really short amount of time, you're going to get over the fear of it because you've done it, right? It's like when I went skydiving. It was freaky. It was so scary. But the scariest part, the hardest part, was the time before I did it, right? Once I actually did it, it was like, oh, that wasn't that bad at all. It was actually really cool. I would totally do that again. So that's the way you overcome the fear of rejection, is by doing the thing that you fear the most, facing the fear and doing it. And I like this saying that I heard somewhere, I can't remember now, but I did it and I didn't die. I did it and I didn't die. Make that your motto for everything in life. You know, like, I was really afraid to do this thing, but I did it and I didn't die. I'm here. It didn't kill me, right? Like, somebody saying no to me is not going to kill me. I'm going to survive and I'm going to move on. And the more no's I hear, the more my business is going to grow, because I'm going to get the yeses too. So the biggest way, or the best way to get over fear of people telling you no, is just by going for the no and actually making the no your goal, right? Like, I don't want to make the yes my goal, because I hear yes the ratio of yeses to no's is really small. So if I make the no my win, then yay, like, I heard a no, that gets me closer to my yes, that's a win, right? So just go for no and talk to more people. So that's just a little something. I know I haven't really talked very long tonight. It's a little bit shorter, but 2 things that I really like. I wanted to make it simple and break it down. And, you know, just, there's so many things that we can get distracted with when it comes to coaching. And I mean, gosh, like, if you want to be distracted and you want to get busy and busy work, it's so easy to do. You don't even have to try. It's going to happen. You know, there's blogs, there's websites, there's training groups, there's training sites, there's like all these different things that we can get distracted with that take us away from those very specific and focused duties and goals that we need to be accomplishing every day. And before you know it, like, you're working on a blog or you're working on getting a website set up, and 2 weeks have gone by and you haven't talked to a single soul. That's not going to help you, right? All of that other stuff is great when you can find the time apart from your main duty of talking to people and growing yourself. If you have extra time, fine, go for it, because that's awesome. Those are great tools and resources, but they're not necessary. What is necessary is those few things, those focused things of growing yourself and talking to people. Grow yourself, talk to more people. And again, like I said in the beginning, if your business isn't where you want it to be, you need to talk to more people. If you're afraid to talk to more people, you need to do your personal development, right? It's like a vicious circle. So anyway, that was just kind of a little bit of what was on my heart. So I'm going to unmute people. Let me see. And then see if anybody has anything you want to add to what I had to say. Oops. Okay, hold on. Okay. Amanda, Sarah, I know you guys are my people on the call tonight. Do you have anything you'd like to add or comment or anything?
No, nothing off the top of my head. I mean, that pretty much sums it up. Like, if your business isn't growing, that's why. Like, I look at my business and it's kind of been dead for a while, but I haven't been reaching out to people either. So once I do that, then I start seeing it like pick up. Mm-hmm. And it's funny though that you said that you find yourself when you haven't been doing your personal development saying, oh, well, what am I going to post about? Because I do that all the time. And then I'm like, oh, well, if I was doing more personal development, like, yeah. So no, that kind of opened my eyes to that. So thank you.
Yeah, it's crazy because when I'm really like focused on, especially if I do it in the morning, I just find personal development in the morning as a way to start my day. It changes the scope and the course of my entire day. And not even just my business. I mean, just everything, my attitude about just my life. You know what I mean? Like the way I interact with people at the grocery store, it changes everything. But yeah, like it just gives you so many, like, because I think the biggest thing that I love about it is it gets my mind going. It's like a kickstart to my brain. So I might listen to 30 minutes of Zig Ziglar, turn it off, but my brain is still going, you know? That's one of the things I love the most about it. Well, that's all I had to talk about. So if you guys don't have anything else to add, I'm gonna let you guys go. We're like at a half an hour tonight, so yay for not taking all night. I love you guys so much, and I'm just really excited. I hope that everybody really goes for this this sweatshirt contest. I'm excited to send one out to whoever wins, but I will let you guys go. All right, love you guys. Have a good night.
Thanks, Mary. You too.
You're welcome. Bye.